This is Frank Urbanic from the Urbanic Law Firm, a criminal defense law firm here in Oklahoma City. And today we are live with you on Facebook, where we will be giving a live demonstration of the field sobriety test on an intoxicated person. So this is our first video of the day, and I have a volunteer who has so kindly volunteered to become intoxicated today. This is Jared. She's one of my interns, and she's actually getting paid for this. So how great of a deal is that? You get paid to drink alcohol. So what we're going to do, we're going to give her a PBT, preliminary breath test, to confirm that she does not have any alcohol in her system now. So if you please take a deep breath and blow into that. All right, I'll wait for the reading here. All zeros. So our goal today is to get her up to about a 0.10. So we have our alcohol here. We have some Coke for her to mix it with. And the plan is in about 2 hours, we hope for her to be at a 0.10. But what we will be doing throughout that time period is coming back and checking in with her, see how she's doing, see how she's feeling, and be doing some more PBTs with her to check her progress. And then at the end, we will administer the SFSTs on her. The plan that I have was provided to me by Anthony Palacios with Impaired Driving Specialists. So my hat tip to them. That is the company that I learned how to administer field sobriety tests, and I went through the instructor training for field sobriety tests. So definitely appreciate their help in training me and making this event happen. So that's it for now. Again, check in with us throughout the next couple hours because Jera will be getting drunk. Thanks. Welcome back to the Urbanic Law Show. This is Frank Urbanic from the Urbanic Law Firm. I'm a criminal defense attorney in Oklahoma City. So what we are doing today is a live demonstration of somebody becoming intoxicated on alcohol and then performing the field sobriety test. So we have Jera here with us, and we're checking back with her approximately 30-40 minutes after our first video, and she has had 2 alcoholic drinks. She initially blew all zeros, so no alcohol. So we're about to do another test with her to see what her blood alcohol concentration is. Okay, there we go. Okay, it's a 0.039, so she is still legal to drive right now, technically. However, I would still not advise driving at this point. So, 2 drinks in approximately 40 minutes, and she's at a 0.039. So we're going to continue with the alcohol dosing and continue checking in with her. But shortly after she started drinking one of her first drink, she did a breath test on herself. And you blew what?
After my first drink?
No, you blew right after you drank some alcohol. It was like a 0.10 or something, right?
Yes, immediately after I finished the second drink, it was a 0.103.
Okay, so the point here is that it was immediately after she drank her second drink. She blew a 0.10, and you can tell that's quite different from the 0.039 that we just saw her blow. The reason why is because of residual mouth alcohol. So this is the alcohol that's still in her mouth that stays there for a pretty good amount of time that will be detected and register on the PBT, or the state's breath test machine, the official test, the Intoxilizer 8000. So even on PBTs, the officers are still supposed to wait at least 15 minutes or observe the suspect for at least 15 minutes prior to administering the PBT, because as you can tell, it can lead to very inaccurate results, and certainly results that are on the high side. So that's it for now. Again, thanks for watching the Urbanic Law Show. We will be coming back in about 30 to 40 minutes to check in with Jera and see how much more intoxicated she's become. This is attorney Frank Urbanic once again with you on the Urbanic Law Show, and we are continuing with our drinker who has been consuming even more alcohol since our last visit. And before we get to that, just in case you were wondering where we are, this is actually the underground bunker of the Urbanic Law Firm. So this is part of our office, but we're in the Stryker building downstairs. So I had to reset this, so we will get to see what blood alcohol content Jera is at right now. She's had 4 drinks, correct? Okay, the last one was about how long ago?
About 15 minutes ago.
15 minutes ago. Well, you stopped drinking 15 minutes ago.
I finished it 15 minutes
right,
ago.
so she has not had alcohol in her mouth for 15 minutes. So we are observing the recommended deprivation period. So without further ado, okay. All right, Jera is at a .073, so she is not at DUI level yet. DUI in Oklahoma is a .08 or more. She is at a DWI. So Oklahoma has what's known as driving while impaired, and so that is a over a .05 and below a .08. So that is something that you can be arrested for as well. So if Jera were to, let me just eject this real quick. If she were to be driving right now, then and she got pulled over, then she would most likely be arrested. So, Jera, let me just ask you a couple things. How do you feel right now?
I feel good.
She feels good. Do you feel like you're safe to drive?
No.
No. Okay. So even though you're not at the .08 DUI level, would you advise people to not be driving if they've had as much alcohol in their system as you do?
Yes, I would definitely suggest calling an Uber.
Definitely call an Uber. So there's so many options out there that really it should make it easy to not get into a situation where you do get arrested. But in the event that you do, remember to not panic and call Urbanic. But just real quick, I want to talk about the PBT. It's the portable breath test or the preliminary breath test. The one that I have is called an Alco Sensor 4. This one, if you were to buy it new, it would be, I believe, around $800. I bought it used, so it was less expensive. This is one that is favored by law enforcement. So it's recommended by Tony Palacios that I mentioned earlier that I purchased this one. But there is, at least in Oklahoma, there is no standard PBT for officers to use. It's not even standardized that they do use them. So the PBT, you can buy a PBT for like $20 on Amazon. And potentially in future shows, we will be using one that I have, and we can compare those results. But so they can range in quality and price. Accuracy of these, the results are not admissible in court, okay, because it has not proven to be as accurate as the official state testing machine, which in Oklahoma is the Intoxilizer 8000. So the results will be inadmissible. So if she blew whatever she blew, that number will not be admissible. And it is also very likely that she even submitted to a portable breath test. That will also likely not be admissible in court. But you may not want to hang your hat on that and think, okay, I'm going to go ahead and blow, and it's not going to be admissible. You never know what a judge is ultimately going to decide, and if that's an issue you want to be fighting over. People ask me all the time, should I blow or should I not? Generally, people are talking about the official test at the police station, but I want to specifically talk about this one, whether or not somebody should actually blow. Again, I'm not giving any advice to anyone on whether you should or not. That's a decision that you have to make on your own, but just understand that the officer and the prosecutor place significant weight on the results of this test. So even if you didn't test at the station, they're going to say, oh, he blew a .10 so on the PBT, so they must have been impaired at the time. Well, did the officer observe the 15-minute deprivation and observation time and ensure that the suspect did not vomit or consume anything within 15 minutes of their submitting the test? Probably not. There's also a wide variety of other things that can affect the results of the test, such as the temperature of the air, the proximity to radio transmitting devices, and as I'm sure you understand, law enforcement officers have devices that transmit radio frequencies on them quite frequently. So those and other things can significantly change the results of the PBT test. So generally, I will say to not do that. But again, to not submit to the PBT test. If you're going to submit to any test, do the state's test back at the station. But the PBT, again, that's a decision that you're going to have to make on your own, understanding that a significant weight is placed on something that is relatively inaccurate. Although we are using it for these purposes. It's the best we have, all right? I can't go out and buy an Intoxilizer 8000. So it is fairly close, but it is not the most accurate test that can be done. So this is our second update. We're probably going to have one more update after this, and then Jera will be performing the field sobriety test. We're going to still try to get her to a .10. Maybe it'll be very close to that, but we will see you back in a few minutes. Thank you. This is Frank Urbanic with the Urbanic Law Firm on the Urbanic Law Show with our final installment today of a live SFST performance with a person who is intoxicated. So I'm joined here again by Jera, who's been consuming alcohol on the clock all day, but it's okay. I'm her boss. I've approved that. And so what we're going to do is we are going to give her the final portable breath test or preliminary breath test and see how much alcohol is in her blood. And this thing's beeping. So remember, this is live TV, folks, so let me just go ahead and reset this. I already did that. So, Jera, while we're waiting on this, how do you feel? Good. You feel good, but not good in the sense that you feel okay to drive, correct? No. Okay, so we believe you're at around a .9 or .09, and so you would definitely not recommend drive. You wouldn't feel comfortable driving like you are now, correct?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay. So, we're ready to go. You've done this before. You know the drill. Go. All right. So, again, we will wait on the test for the Alco Sensor 4. All right. We're at a .082. So she is just above the legal limit. So she would most definitely go to jail if she were to be pulled over and they administered a preliminary breath test on her, and they would most likely charge her with DUI. Would not be safe for her to drive. Certainly don't recommend anybody driving in that condition. So what we're going to do is we are going to administer the field sobriety test on Jara. So Jara, if you would please stand over here. So we're starting with the horizontal gaze nystagmus test, and what we're going to be looking for is the involuntary jerking of the eyes back and forth. We're going to go ahead and consider her being medically qualified. I'm going to put her in the ready position. So please put your feet together and your hands down at your sides. The tip of my finger is the stimulus. Look at that with your eyes. Do not move your head. And keep looking at the stimulus until told the test is over. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to be looking to see if her eyes are moving at the same in the same direction at the same time. All right. So I'm going to be 2 seconds out and 2 seconds back. 2 seconds out and 2 seconds back. This is called equal tracking. So I have to do at least one pass, can do up to 2. Now, this next one is the first test on the field sobriety test. It is lack of smooth pursuit. Are her eyes jerking as they are moving? So please continue looking at the stimulus. So if you can tell, her eyes are jerking. They are not moving slow, or they are not moving smoothly. Second pass, and I will go until there are no more whites at the end. And this is equivalent to a 0.04 level of impairment. So this next one is equivalent to a 0.08. So this is the distinct and sustained nystagmus at maximum deviation. So I'm going to go at a slow pace, approximately 2 seconds, and I'm going to hold it at maximum deviation for 4 seconds. And so I'm assuming this is about 4 seconds, and it has to be both distinct and sustained. And as you can see, her eyes, there we go, her eyes are involuntarily jerking. No more whites at the end. There you go. You can see her eyes jerking. There you go. Another one. And it has to be a minimum of 4 seconds. I'm not counting out loud right now because I'm confident that I'm holding it for at least 4 seconds. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000. And keep in mind that, and I'm going to do this improperly just so you understand the point, if the officer throws it out like this and just holds it for a brief second, they can induce nystagmus. Okay, so that's something that we watch for when we're evaluating the videos, is how fast did they throw it out there. It has to be relatively slow at that 2 second pace, and then holding it for 4 seconds. So the final one we're going to be doing is onset of nystagmus prior to 45 degrees. So this is equivalent, to a 0.10. So the chance of her eyes jerking prior to that 45 degrees are probably low, but we're still going to check her anyways. Do I see the eyes jerking back and forth? I do not. So I have to move it out very slowly. If I do see the eyes jerking, or if the officer does, they're the ones administering it for real, they are supposed to stop, hold it, and then ensure or verify that the nystagmus is distinct and sustained. So again, at a very slow pace, 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000. So this matches up with what we saw in the PBT, that she is not impaired beyond the 0.08. And then we're going to wrap this up with the vertical nystagmus. So please continue looking at the tip of my finger, and I'm going to raise it till her eyebrows go up just a little bit and see if there is any bouncing going down. And I don't see any, maybe just a tiny amount. This is typically associated with high levels of impairment. And this is done twice, and it's held for at least 4 seconds. You may relax. Thank you. Okay, so the next test is going to be the walk and turn. So what I'd like you to do, Jared, please, is stand over there. There's a line actually on our floor here. So this is the walk and turn test. So what I would like you to do is you don't actually have to imagine a line. There is a line right in front of you. So you're actually being helped out right now. So I want you to put your left foot on that line. Now put your right foot in front of your left foot, touching heel to toe. Put your arms down at your side. Do not start until I tell you to start. Do you understand?
Yes.
So she's in the ready position. I'm looking to see if she starts too soon or if she loses her balance or can't maintain balance. So then I, or the officer, will explain the rest of the test and then demonstrate. So what you're going to do is on this line, you're going to take a series of 9 heel-to-toe steps, turn, and then take 9 heel-to-toe steps back. So I'm going to demonstrate doing 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. When you get to your last step, you're going to leave your front foot planted and take a series of small steps around and then continue on with the rest of the 9 steps. While you are doing this, you are to look at your feet. You are to count out loud. You are to keep your arms down at your sides, and you are to not stop walking until the test is over. So this is a clue right here that she's already exhibited. Okay, so she's won. She has 1 already. It's 2 to fail. So good luck. Do you have any questions?
No.
You may begin.
1, 2,
You stepped off line.
3.
That's
4,
2 already.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Miss heel to toe.
6, 7, 8, 9.
All right, so from what I saw, I believe she only missed heel to toe once, and this is a good learning point because there are 18 steps that the suspect has to take, and if they miss heel to toe by a half inch or more just one time, then they are considered to have failed that clue, have exhibited that clue of intoxication. But on the flip side, if you miss heel to toe every single time, you're only counted off for that 1 clue. So just kind of keep that in mind if you're trying to perform as best as you can. Maybe reduce your odds there. All right, so I believe she exhibited at least 3 clues, and again, two would be a failure. So for this next test, I'm going to put you into the ready position. This is the 1-leg stand, not the 1-legged stand. So I immediately know that an officer doesn't know what he's doing, or she, when I read the police report and it says 1-legged stand, okay? So it is the 1-leg stand, just so we're all clear. Put your feet together. Put your feet together, please. Put your arms down at your side. So for this test, and I'm demonstrating the ready position, which a lot of officers do not do, but they are still supposed to do. So for this test, what I want you to do is you are going to raise 1 foot, either foot of your choice, and I'm sorry, I had to ask you. Don't start until I tell you to start. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. So you're going to raise either foot of your choice and raise that foot 6 inches from the ground. And you're going to keep that foot parallel to the ground as so. So I'm demonstrating it right now, as the officers are required to demonstrate that. Once the I got my phone here so I can time you. But once you begin, then you are to look at the foot that's raised. You are to count out loud as follows: 1001, 1002, 1003, and so on until I tell you to stop. You're to keep your arms at your sides. You're to keep both of your legs straight. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Okay. You may begin.
1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8, 1,000, 9, 1,000, 10, 1,000, 11, 1,000, 12, 1,000, 13, 1,000, 14, 1,000, 15, 1,000, 16, 1,000, 17, 1,000, 18, 1,000, 19, 1,000, 20, 1,000, 21, 1,000.
Stop. Folks, she actually did pretty good. Maybe you're not really drunk. No, you probably are. But this is another good learning point, is that, well, first of all, Jared has done these tests before, so she's familiar with what she is supposed to do, unlike the vast majority of people who are pulled over. But she did pretty good on this. I did not see any clues. Maybe sways. They're supposed to sway a certain amount, but I didn't see that. But the clues that we're going to be looking for are whether they put their foot down, they use their arms for balance, if they sway, or if they hop. So I did not see any of those. So good job, Jared. Thank you very much for volunteering to get dosed with alcohol today. I think you did a great service to your community and to our fellow Oklahomans by letting them know what some of the effects of alcohol can have on the performance of the field sobriety test. Do you have any comments for our viewers out there after having experienced this?
If I hadn't known what to do, I probably wouldn't have remembered the instructions for the last part.
Did you feel that I said the instructions fairly quickly?
Compared to the videos I've seen, you said instructions fairly slowly and more, like asking if I understood more than I'm used to seeing in the videos.
And that's a great point, is that the officer administering these tests is supposed to ask at certain points if the suspect understands or if they have any questions. And one thing that I see a lot is that not happening. And so how can you expect somebody to perform on these tests if they had questions, but they didn't know that they could ask those questions? So I think we should hold our officers to a high standard. We should expect them to do the job they are trained to do, and that is my job, to make sure that that if the standards are not being adhered to, then my client should not have to suffer due to an officer making mistakes and setting the client or the suspect up for failure. So this has been Frank Urbanic with the Urbanic Law Firm. Remember, if you get arrested anywhere in Oklahoma, don't panic. Call Urbanic. And thank you so much for watching. In the words of the great Richard Bay, from all of us here to all of you out there, all my best.